say the best place to start would be, I guess, thinking about how to build a connection through something that you have in common? So, for example, when you're meeting someone for the first time, knowing what to say. Some people don't really know how to start a conversation or build those connections in a way that is authentic if they don't really know much about that person. So would you say the first place to start would be to think about what you have in common? And I guess when it comes to parents and teachers, it's the child. You both have the child at the center of your universe, and that's the person that you're focused on. So, and in my experience as a parent, when you allow parents to talk about their children, there's no stopping them. They want to talk, they want to share everything. So one of the modules in the course is around parent knowledge and helping parents understand that their knowledge of their child is really important for teachers to understand. So would you say that that could be an area that teachers could focus on to start with, and that's asking about the child and their interests outside of school, for example?
Definitely. Identifying commonalities is always the best starting point because it puts you on the same page. And that's actually a strategy that can be used even in a conflict, right? So if let's say there's a parent in your class or of a student in your class who is very pushy, very demanding, you know, I think we've all had some of those parents, and really quite hard to deal with and hard to work with. If we have an understanding that they probably coming from a very good place where they just want the best for their child. Okay. But how they're doing it, well, it's not great. So immediately there, you've got a commonality with that parent, because although the manner in which they're communicating is not appropriate, actually why they're communicating is the same as what you have, which is the best intentions for that child. And then when you strip all of those other things away, you have a foundation that is unique. It's connected, it's identical. And then from that you can begin to build. And I found it's a fantastic way to de-escalate situations of intensity or of conflict by just pulling it back to what the commonalities are. So, you know, for a teacher looking to establish connections with a family member or parents, definitely building connections or building understanding commonalities is a good foundation upon which to build a connection or to start, right? And so, you know, as you mentioned, starting off with just knowing what the child does at home. What are some of the interests outside of school? Talking to the parent about what you see at school, what do they see at school? And not only the bad things. So, you know, we saw Johnny doing this amazing art project. Wow, do you do art with him at home? You know, those things are such great foundations upon which to build rapport, because it also shows that you've got a genuine care for the child. You know, there's a theory called uncertainty reduction theory. It's got a few different names to it, and it's a bit disputed, but effectively what it speaks about is that whenever you meet someone for the first time, subconsciously, your brain is working to reduce uncertainty and trying to find out, is this person safe or is this person not, effectively in every interaction you make. And so when you have that understanding as well, when you meet parents for the first time, regardless of whether they acknowledge it or not, their brain is actually working hard to figure you out, and your brain's working hard to figure them out. And, you know, our brain loves putting people in boxes, right?
Forming perceptions.
Yeah, that's right. You know, not going to be friends with that person. Oh, great. That's my parent helper right there, you know? And so when we know that as well, we can also then, through a process of awareness, regulate our behavior to make sure that that first impression makes a great impression for families, through our body language, how we speak, how we set up, how we present ourselves. All of those things matter, because generally when people are looking to reduce uncertainty, unfortunately, they're looking at your appearance, how you speak. You know, it's reading a book, judging a book by its cover, unfortunately. But if we know that, then we can be on the front foot. And we can set ourselves up for success knowing that. So yeah, so look, that's what I would say. It's identifying commonalities definitely is a fantastic starting point. And as educators, we've got the greatest commonality, and it's the child. But let's look for other ones. You know, in an international context where I teach and work, there's families from all over the world. Okay, so do I have a connection with someone from a different country? Have I visited that country before? Do I have a family member who lives there? Have I had a past student from that country? It just helps to have some little other hook to connect with that family, and it makes a huge difference.